So I'll break down the strategy that we use that actually works in lead generation. So the number one thing is you have to have some videos that are top funnel videos, branding videos that you can use for targeting. Let's identify an audience. Let's say I'm trying to reach all the VPs at companies that have between 100 and 1,000 employees, right? I can identify this list, and we'll talk about grabbing this data, but there are tools out there where you can grab this data, all their phone numbers, email addresses, etc., etc. When you create this list, then what you want to do is you want to go to Facebook, create a custom audience with their emails, names, last names, phone numbers. You want to go to AdRoll, create a custom audience. You want to go to LinkedIn, create a custom audience. Let's say I found 10,000 VPs, right? With the latest iOS update on Facebook, you'll probably have, 2,000 matches if you're lucky. On AdRoll, you'll have higher probably, and on LinkedIn, you'll have higher because LinkedIn custom audiences actually are pretty powerful because LinkedIn already stores all this data. The next thing you do is you create campaigns with these 45, 60-second videos, and you start targeting them for a period of two weeks to 4 weeks. So they need to be seeing your brand before. Otherwise, you won't get responses to your cold emails. Once you retarget them 2-4 weeks, and you can see the frequency of how often are they watching those that video or those videos, then you create a specific email outreach strategy that has initial email and 3 follow-ups. Okay. In the initial email, what needs to happen is we all get these emails. Hey, I'm John from ABCD. You have time for 5 minutes to get on a phone call this week? No, I don't have time, because I have no idea what you're offering me. There's no value, there's no personalization. So what we do is we create the script for these 4 emails, and we also hyper-personalize the first sentence. Hyper-personalize means if you look at my LinkedIn or if you look at my profile, you're gonna see that I'm into music, I'm into soccer, I went to FIU on a scholarship. If in the first sentence of your outreach to me, regardless of what you're trying to pitch me or sell me, if you say, hey, Duran, I saw that you went to FIU and you were on a soccer scholarship. I actually played soccer in college, blah, blah, blah. Something that relates to me. Or, hey, I saw that you play classical guitar. One of my favorite flamenco guitarists is Paco de Lucia. The moment you say that, you got my attention. I'll give you my 10, 15 minutes. But we don't end it with a phone call pitch. We end it with value. So number one, there needs to be hyper-personalization after you do the retargeting. And number 2, there needs to be a call to action that provides some kind of value. Maybe you want to give them an audit. Maybe you want to give them some sort of consultative checklist. Something needs to happen, right? And there's a way to specifically send out these emails as well. We use specific tools, like one of the tools that we use is Limlist. Another one that we use is Woodpecker. We also use Mailgun for mass emailing. So there's a specific process for this. But what happens afterwards is you are able to have people respond and say, yes, I am interested in that. Yes, I would like to have a conversation. Yes, send me that audit. Yes, send me that checklist, right? When you start a conversation, one of the first things you do is you connect with them on LinkedIn, because your LinkedIn is actually very powerful from a B2B standpoint. And once you do that, it becomes an omni-channel approach where you need to assign it to somebody and you need to just keep providing value until they go from cold to warm to hot. And as Joe stated, it's not an easy process. It's a very specific process. It's not difficult to start the conversation, but Joe, is it difficult to close?
Absolutely.
It's very difficult to close because you have to show them that number one, you're an expert in something. And number 2, you have to provide so much value that they say, and we have these conversations, say, you know, Duran, you were a man of your word. You provided me with so much value. Damn it, I wish I had the budget to work with you. I really want to work with you, but I don't have the budget.
Yeah, the timing.
Yeah,
right? That's the third.
Now, we've had a lot of those conversations, and Joe was in some of those client deals, Joe, where we spoke to somebody a year and a half ago, and a year later, the guy comes back and says, okay, we're ready now.
Yeah.
So you just build these relationships. And another thing is that guy that doesn't have the budget, he probably has a few friends who have the budget. right? That's where the nurture comes in. So if you're not using any kind of automated nurture flows with Aweber, Autopilot, what's the other platform that we use? ActiveCampaign. If you're not constantly messaging your prospects, your customers, as well as your pipeline, the leads in your pipeline, you're losing a lot of opportunity. So the cold email strategy that we do for lead generation works. It takes time. It takes at least 90 days to get off the ground. It's not cheap. You can't do this for a few $100s. We do also lead generation based on the number of leads, but you're going to end up paying a lot per lead. So if you're a B2B business, let's say you sell PR. I'm happy to generate leads for you for PR, but you're going to pay $250 a lead. $250 for everybody that I introduced to you. And those are cold, right?
Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to our channel for more videos on marketing, e-commerce, custom development, and much more. Plus, new episodes of Surge, our weekly e-commerce and digital marketing podcast released every Wednesday.